even when something happens to you, holding yourself accountable for the role that you played. Because if someone's treating you like shit and you're letting yourself be a doormat, listen to that sentence. You're letting yourself be a doormat. Stand up for yourself, bro. Like,
or just
of
walk
course,
away, man. Like, if you can get
yeah,
away, like just get away. You don't have to. I know so many people who have had like toxic friends, and it's just like, sweetheart, they're not supposed to treat you like that. A real friend
yeah.
is never gonna treat you. It is never gonna make you feel like absolute garbage and like bully you. And a 3, and a 2, and a 1. Beep.
I don't know if I got it.
You didn't. What's up, and welcome to another episode of Talk Your Shift. I am Mel.
I am Carlton.
Hello again. So lovely to see you. I see you still have your glasses, babe. That's nice. Your hair got longer. You don't like the joke?
No.
Whatever, man. Yo, kiss my ass. Anyways, would you like to tell the people your background, what your background is?
Sure. So I'm Puerto Rican, Italian.
Such a pain in the ass. All right. Anyways.
All right. So actually, my background is a photo that I took. That is the sun setting, if you could not tell, and the reflection is on the water. This dark landmass is it's a hill that's like sand and dirt combined. I think it's over in Rocky Point, something like that. They call it the cliffs because it kind of is a cliff. Like you could run down it, it's just very, very steep. So I took this around COVID time because, you know, everyone was isolated from everyone. And my friend was just saying that she had to get out of the house. So she called up me and her other friend, and we went to the cliffs to hang out just to feel some sense of normalcy. And yeah, saw this and I was like, dang, that's a really nice photo. Take that. I did.
It looks great. You're
Thank
wonderful. You. You're very talented.
Thank you.
Anyways, if you're new here, Dom likes to annoy me all the time with her smarty pantsness. But other than that, we like to talk about life. We like to talk about the journey and the lessons that we've learned along the way, and hopefully give you a little bit of insight on some of the struggles that we've had, and hopefully that helps you with yours or maybe somebody close to you. So welcome to everybody that's coming back. Hey, y'all. It's nice that you see us again. As you can see, we're switching things up a little bit this week because, as y'all already know, I had to get a second job. And that means driving down to Long Island has been a little rough. So we're going to be doing a couple of Zoom calls, but I promise we'll do like in-person stuff at some point. This is not the forever. This is the temporary. However, we still wanted to bring you content every other week as per the usual because you deserve it. All right. So let's kick things off with our Am I the Asshole? Are you ready?
Always.
Here we go. All right, y'all. Do. Am I the asshole?
Always.
For divorcing my husband for a man who gave me a kidney.
Okay.
I, 43 female, have a genetic kidney condition, and I lost the function of both my kidneys a couple of years ago. I was on dialysis and on the transplant list. I never drank alcohol or did anything to exacerbate my disease. It's just luck of the draw. Oh, that's so sad.
I know.
My husband, John, 49, refused to get tested. It's his choice, and I can't make him. I have a friend, Sam, 34 male, who donated his kidney. He didn't directly donate to me because we were not compatible, but it was part of a kidney chain. Because of him, I was able to get a kidney. I thanked him profusely because he literally saved my life. We had not been close friends, and I asked him why he decided to donate. He told me that he always harbored affection for me, but did nothing because I was married. When he found out I needed a kidney, he didn't want me to die. Oh my
Oh my
God.
God.
Oh my God. Sorry. It turned my world upside down. I did not want to engage in an emotional affair, so when I did question my feelings for my husband, I immediately went for separation. I was happier apart from John. I filed for divorce. John was blindsided and devastated at what I had done. People I know have called me cold for what I had done. Am I the asshole?
No.
Listen, listen, Linda. First of all, oh my God, like the friend was like, I love her and
Yeah.
I want her to be alive. Like, oh my
It was
gosh.
very Nicholas Sparksy.
Isn't it so sweet? And
Yeah.
that's amazing. And that's how the transplant things go. So like I think like your name gets like taken off like once, like even if somebody donates a kidney and it's not for you, it just moves you up the list
Oh.
because somebody on the list that was compatible is now taken off. And so it does. So imagine he did all that. So two people were helped. He helped a stranger and he helped the love of his life. And I love this man. Very sweet guy. At 34, you gave up your kidney? Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm a mush. Now I'm going back and forth about this thing because she said that like it's the husband's choice if he doesn't want to donate a kidney, right? That's fine. That is fine. I'm not going to take
Yeah.
away his autonomy. However, I can't help but be skeptical that you wouldn't at least get tested to see if maybe you possibly were compatible. Like, I don't know. There's something I feel like if something were to happen to like Carlton, I would get tested.
Mm-hmm.
Is surgery scary? Is removing a organ scary? Yes, but like I would want him in my life, you know? And so I'm a little torn because I don't want to take his autonomy away, but there are statistics that, and I don't know exactly what the statistics are. Everybody go to like a accredited non-biased research, like when it comes to the statistics of like husbands and wives when it comes to them getting sick, and they'll tell you the divorce rates go up
Yeah.
when it comes to men leaving their sick wives, or that like they're not like they just don't help like when the wives get
Mm.
sick, whereas if the husbands get sick, the wives are more likely to even come back. Like if they're
Wow.
exes, the ex-wives are more likely to go and help their ex-husband through the illness. Isn't
Wow.
that crazy? I don't know the exact statistics. Don't come at me, people. This is science. Um, but yes. Anyways, so it just makes you think. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you think, Dom? This crazy. A whole ass
Oh,
kidney.
I think like I I can't help but wonder if that was like either the straw that broke the camel's back
Mm.
or if that was just what it took for her to start realizing certain things that maybe she didn't like. So I don't think she's the asshole because she filed for divorce. If she would have cheated, then yeah, you're a fucking piece of shit. But um,
Like the second she was like, "Oh, I think I might like this guy."
yeah, so that's
Excuse
the
me.
only reason why. And I don't think that the husband's the asshole either, because you know how people try to spin things. I don't think that he's an asshole because again, like if he doesn't want to give up his kidney, he doesn't have to give up his kidney. Like it's his kidney, you know?
Yes, that's fair.
So
Yeah, it's fair.
um I mean I don't personally the nicest way possible.
Oh,
I don't know what I would do because I've been there where I'm like, oh my God, like this person, like kind of blindsided by love where you're not fully thinking. So if something was to happen, I gave an organ and then something happens, I'm gonna be fucking tight. I mean, like, I'm gonna be upset only because, God forbid, if I get sick and like now I have my one remaining kidney is not working, I'm gonna be fucking tight.
Yeah, but here's the
Same
thing though.
time,
That means that wouldn't that mean that both of y'all are just gonna go because technically it was your kidney, so if this kidney is fucked up, eventually their kidney's gonna be fucked up. So y'all are both going out.
to be honest, I don't know too much about it, but
I know. This is me. This is not science, people. This is not
yeah.
science.
But no, I don't think that either of them are terrible people in this situation. Like, he said what he said, and it's completely his choice. And I kind of don't blame him for not wanting to do that. But in the same breath, if you really do love someone, like, it's very easy on the outside to be like, oh, nah, I don't think I would. But then thinking about it, like, no, I genuinely love this person so much, I would. Like, if it was, I don't know, like Mikey, I'd be like, bro, take my lungs, take whatever you need. Like, it's fine. I'll just die. It's fine. But
I
yeah, so
can't.
I don't blame him, and then I don't blame her either. Like, I think that was super mature for her to be like, oh shoot, wait a minute, I I feel these things towards someone who's not my husband, and that's not right. So I mean, the other thing though that makes me question is she said that he was blindsided by it. So was it really just a quick uppercut where it came out of nowhere? Or was it just that he didn't see it coming because he wasn't reading the writing on the wall? So I guess strictly on like a superficial surface level, no, I don't think either of them are the asshole.
Yeah, because I don't know. I don't like there's not enough context. There's not enough like
Yeah.
information. She didn't say they had a rocky marriage. They didn't say
Yeah.
that, it seemed like everything was like regular, but sometimes regular or like boring or like no effort. And this is me assuming, like sometimes that's enough. Like the
Yeah.
fact that nothing happens like is
Yeah.
enough for someone to get bored or whatever. I also think that is a possibility that she could have like chilled on it for just like a second because um it's a romantic gesture, right? Um and so like seeing that and like feeling that wave of like wow, I don't necessarily think you could make like a full decision to end your
Yeah.
stuff like so quickly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Off of a oh my god. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like all of us um like we find people attractive, which I guess is different because it's like a superficial thing unless like you also notice that they're a nice person. But um I don't know. It's like I think it was too quick. So
Yeah.
I think it might have been the straw that broke the camel's back. Maybe there were other things. Maybe she was feeling some type of way about it, and the fact that this person did it was like what she needed. But I mean,
Yeah.
obviously it's what she needed. But you know what I mean, like emotionally, because she
Yeah.
did need a fucking kidney.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I don't know. Let us know in the
Well,
comments, like, what do y'all think? And would you donate? Would you get
I,
tested? Like, I feel
I was
like at
gonna
least you could
say,
get tested. You could at least get
yeah.
tested.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
It's not
let
like
us
it's a
know in the
spinal
comments.
thing because I heard
Yeah.
a spinal tap or whatever that the bone marrow transplant. I
Yeah.
hear that test is very painful. But once again,
Mm.
I would do it for the person that I love. I'm sorry, I totally interrupted you. Yeah.
No, 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 you're good. Yeah, let us know what you would do in the comments, because I myself am thinking, like, I don't know. I would, and then at the same time, I don't know if I would. Like, yeah, I don't know. Even if, say, the person I gave it to, it didn't work out, like, I think there would still be a part of me that was like, it is what it is. And at the end of the day, I helped someone. Um, and that sometimes that in and of itself is as rewarding. But yeah, I'm curious to see what other people say, and your reasoning. Don't just put no. Like, I need to know why. Or don't
Yes.
just put yes. I need to know why.
Details. We need all the filler, is what Carlton says, because he's just like, just get straight to the point. No, I want to know the details. I want to hear the background. I want to know. But hold on. I have somebody in my room. Hold on one second. I'm recording an episode. Goodbye. That was Zariah. I don't know what she wanted to give me. Maybe she was trying to give me water or something. I don't know. She has to remind me to have snacks because sometimes I don't eat. But anyways, yeah, I need all the details. And you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of that episode of House, and then we'll end this. And then we'll move on to the next topic. But it reminds me of that episode of House where there was like a woman and she was sick, I think, or her husband was sick. One of them was sick, and one of them donated their organ to the other. Kind of sort, like there was one of those situations, but the husband was cheating on the wife, and she either took the organ on purpose or she gave him her organ on purpose. And we find out in the end because she knew he was cheating and that he was getting ready to file for divorce, and she was like, now he'll never leave me because of this. The guilt is too much with the organ. And I'm like, damn, that shit got dark in the past. Like, I loved watching House. That was my shit.
Damn.
But that's ruthless, right? And I'm not saying that this woman is doing that. I'm not saying this is a fictional, this is a fake fucking show, people. I don't want anybody being like, women are conniving or whatever the fuck the case may be. Anybody can be shitty. This is a fake scenario. I just wanted to put that out there. No gender hating. All right. Anyways. All right. So let's move on to our beloved meme segment. See, did you say
Got
segment?
it this time.
Yes.
I did.
Look at you. Look at you. You're winning. You're winning. You're doing great. You're doing great. I appreciate you. So everybody, if you're new here, I like to scroll the interwebs for insightful and thoughtful conversation starters that Dom and I can just kind of dive into and discuss. And sometimes we stay on topic and sometimes it kind of takes us in a different direction. What are you going to do? That's what happens when you have ADHD. So anyways, here we go, y'all.
Wow, that was a very hip hop Mario. You're like, here we go. Like, you know how Mario's like, here we go. Like, here we go, y'all.
You're an asshole. Anyways, here we go. You're not grown until you know how to communicate, apologize, be truthful, and accept accountability without blaming someone else. I know, right? If I'm calling you out, I'm calling you out. I want you to get in there, and you got to get in there. You got to get in there. And you got to if this stings a little bit, maybe you got some work to do. Cuz even I'm looking at it like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dom, what do you think?
I think that it's very relevant to my life right now, because being in the position that I'm in, I have no choice but to act like a mature adult.
Because of HR.
Yeah. Even though sometimes I'll go upstairs and I'll tell HR, I'll be like, I'm about to say something. So you can add it to my file right now. And they're like, oh my God. They're like, what? So then I tell them, and they laugh. So I'm like, still got it. But yeah, like in the position that I hold, and also too, just in life, I'm really learning that, like kind of what I was telling you this morning and the conversation I told you that I was having with Nate last night. And that I was having with my mentor as well, yesterday. It's like super, super difficult, but it's kind of rewarding to, I don't know how to explain it, but, like when you hold yourself accountable without placing blame on others, because don't get me wrong, there's plenty of times where others are to blame for certain. But just I don't know, like that to me that shows a whole nother level of mental clarity, maturity, and just like peace, you know? Like if you could take some adversity and take it for what it is, learn, pick the tools you need from it and go without holding on to it, like you're not ruining your peace. Where you ruin your peace is when you let something sit and it festers and you just like kind of harp on it continuously, or you refuse to see what your part in the story was, because that's
You
the other thing
have
too.
to. Yes, I
Yeah,
agree. I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm like, yes,
No,
yes.
yeah, like
Sorry.
it's you're good. It's like because it's not productive, because truthfully you're not always the victim. You are. Sometimes you were the victim for one portion of the story, and then
Yes.
sometimes you were the villain for the entire story. So,
I know.
like,
We talk to, hold on one second. I'm going to mute it so I could just call for Zariah.
Zariah, come here, Zariah. I will not say those words. Never mind.
Never mind. Whatever. I'm not going to keep the audience waiting. So, anyways, no, because me and Carlton were having a conversation with Zariah without going into too much detail. Like, pretty much, we were explaining that, like, yo, sometimes you be throwing gasoline. Like, you be bringing gasoline to the fire. And that's not just her. I just mean, like, people in, oop, y'all saw my pants. Yes, I'm wearing pajama pants with a regular shirt. Y'all saw it for a split second. Here we go. Oh, wait, no. Now you can't see it. What the hell? Anyways, I digress. So,
I
anyway,
can't work with the elderly. I can't do it.
I hate that you say that to me. Anyways,
Well, if I'm mid-age,
I'm not going to beat you in a foot race, but I'm not going to beat you in a foot race. Like, it's like, go on. Yes. And so sometimes, like, when there's, because, okay, what's the best way to explain this thing? I'm trying to get to so many thoughts going through my mind, but like pretty much I've seen in multiple cases, and I've done it myself, right? Where someone has hurt you in a situation, and during a moment of calm, instead of being like, okay, now is the time to address this thing that bothered me, or now is the time to kind of like give back in kindness, that's when we strike. And that's when we bring the gasoline over, whether it's like a little subtle comment, like a little slick comment that you just like, you just gonna put that in there, or maybe you have an attitude, or maybe you don't want to talk, or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, is the intention to make the other person feel bad? Or is it you want them to feel guilty, or is that just you needed to just kind of get that out and off your chest, And so I guess, I don't know, it's a lot to think about. And I feel like that's kind of in one instance where we're not the victim entirely, because we brought the gasoline to the fire. And then what ends up happening is that person's going to reciprocate with that. They're going to come right back at you. And so that's kind of where you need to learn to slow down. You got to slow the fuck down, because then what's this? Y'all are ping ponging back and forth the negativity. And when does resolution happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyways, but yes, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's pretty much it. Like you have to hold yourself accountable too. And even when you are the victim in the story, of course easier said than done, but hold yourself accountable for being the victim. If that makes sense. Like don't victimize yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like some fucked up shit happened. Yeah. Don't sit in it. Like, don't be like, oh, woe is me. Listen, failure, and this is my own personal opinion. If y'all want to attack me on the internet, I don't give a fuck. But
she'll attack you right back, just to let you know.
Yeah, just because I feel like because I've done this before, so that's why I say like don't victimize yourself because it doesn't fucking help. If something happens, you need to hold yourself accountable, and even something as simple as, yeah, that was fucked up what was done to me. Why did I let that be done to me? Like
Mhm.
I have too much respect for myself and I love myself way too much for me to ever let that slide. Like what happened there? Like I don't know, it helps me being very analytical about things. Because it helps me dissect and figure out, oh, so that's what caused this to cause this, cause this, cause this. I don't want to deal with that pain. So again, so like how can I fix it? So I guess even when something happens to you, holding yourself accountable for the role that you played, because if someone's treating you like shit and you're letting yourself be a doormat, listen to that sentence, you're letting yourself be a doormat. Stand up for yourself, bro. Like,
Or just
of
walk
course,
away, man. Like if you can get
yeah,
away, like just get away. You don't have to. I know so many people who have had like toxic friends, and it's just like, sweetheart, they're not supposed to treat you like that. A real friend
yeah,
is never gonna treat you. It is never gonna make you feel like absolute garbage and like bully you. Like it's one
yeah,
thing if we playing around, you know what I mean? Like I feel like sometimes, like because y'all don't see me and Dom like all the time, that it definitely comes off like we're mean to each other sometimes, but like it's all love, it's all respect, and we know what we can say to each other and how we can fuck around with
yeah,
each other. And so we know that there's no hurt feelings. However, if you're realizing that like a person that's closest to you is, is hurting your feelings and not being apologetic about it, it's like, come on, it was a joke. It's not fucking funny if everybody is not laughing. You know
hmm,
what I mean? Everybody should be laughing.
yeah,
This is kind of what it is. And so, like, it's easier said than done. As we say, all this stuff is easier said than done. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And we talk about it all the time, but like, you have to like love yourself enough to be like, yo, there are some really good people out there. There are some really shitty people out there, but like, the good people will, like, as long as you go with your authentic self, you're going to find the right people. And so you shouldn't accept anything less. I mean, you can't
yeah,
accept, like, there's no such thing as perfection. There's going to be issues.
yeah,
However, I feel like the problem is that we're always gaslighting ourselves with like, oh, they didn't mean it. Oh, they didn't mean it. But like
mm,
you've experienced like 20 different situations within a month. That's a lot. That's a
yeah,
lot. And that's when you have to take the accountability to like step away, you know?
mm,
Or like if you're a little bit more vocal, stand your ground and say your thing. Cause sometimes people are just assholes and they'll like push the
yeah,
line until you tell them, hey, this my line. You know what I mean?
hmm,
So
yeah,
uh, like I just feel bad for the people because it was me. I was people. So I know this person who was cool with this other person, but this other person was doing some crazy fuck shit, like not like it's not the type of friend that you want. Like um like taking opportunities away from them,
oh,
and
what?
yes, and then them being like, oh, they're still invited to like special occasions and things like that. And in my head, I was like, I don't know how the fuck you're doing that, but good on you for being forgiving or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know their dynamic like that. I don't know how they talk. I don't know the intimate parts of their friendship. And so I'm just like, it is what it is. And
Mm,
they're very sweet. And so they ended up finding out that this person was talking mad shit about them the second they were out of their sight. And
uh,
so, yeah, and so you don't have to accept that. Is pretty much what it is. Like, so in that moment, were they a victim? Yes. But after all these times that you saw this, like, it's not like a little annoying thing. It's like
yeah,
they're taking opportunities from you.
mm,
That is something completely different. You know what I mean? And so that's when you have to take accountability and be like, yo, this person, they ain't for me. Excuse me. I mean, I feel like I've had more situations with partners that were treating me like crap, and I feel like you've had more situations with like friendships. Like,
Hmm.
do you got anything or anything you wanna
Um,
input?
yeah, yeah, I've definitely let myself uh be in situations um where it's like, why am I letting this person do this? Because I wouldn't do that to them because I know that it's not nice, and kind of making the excuse for them of like, oh, well, maybe they're just having a bad day or whatever because they act differently, like with other friend groups around and stuff. And then eventually just kind of realizing, like, yeah, no, fuck you. I'm not doing this. Like, I'm too fucking funny to be in this situation. Um, and it definitely was a really good mental shift. Um, and I'm actually trying to get back to that point now. Like, I feel like about like 2 years ago ish, I was at one extreme. Now I'm at another extreme. So I'm trying to find that healthy medium of not just, I guess, the moment something happens, not taking a moment, sorry, to be compassionate and just being like, all right, bye. And also not overdoing that moment of being compassionate. But the same goes for if you yourself are being a dick, like hold yourself accountable. Like whatever part in the story you're playing, you need to hold yourself accountable. Um, Whether it's villain, victim, or bystander, like you need to, I don't know, just be in touch with reality, I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
some it's hard for some people though. So let me ask you a question then, because it also says like you need to, so we covered like communicating, accountability, apologizing. Has there ever been a moment where like you just couldn't bring yourself to apologize, or like apologizing was very difficult, or um yeah, like I don't know where my brain is going with this, but I'm just saying like, cuz apologizing is hard um for some, because some people are just like, I ain't gonna say sorry, or like the old
mhm.
school people, they don't apologize, they just
They like
they be
they like
quiet.
bring you a sandwich. It's like, damn, I really fucked up. And you guys aren't speaking, you just hear like a knock on the door. Parents are notorious for that. Knock on the door and they're like, uh, I made some carrots. I chopped up some carrots and celery and there's ranch if you want some. I thought you might want some. And it's like, you just fucking gaslit me about something you said
It's
that
like
you
you
didn't
just beat
say.
my ass and took my
Yeah,
phone.
yeah, but yeah. No, of course. Let me get some Valley fucking ranch and some carrots and everything goes away. But yes, there was I would say there was definitely one phase of Dom where apologizing was hard because I hold people to a certain standard. So sometimes, especially back then, it was harder for me to apologize. Well, actually, no, I would over apologize. And then my downfall was apologizing when I thought it was bullshit. Like if you took something personally, and this is still something that I'm learning, if you take something personally, I've made it very clear there was no like malintent. Um, yeah, like that's something that I definitely struggled with. I'm getting a lot better, I would say, but if I think it's some bullshit that you're upset about, like I'm not gonna fucking say sorry. Like sorry for what? I didn't do anything wrong. So
Oh my god. And that's what gets tricky, right? That's why apologizing,
yeah,
it becomes so nuanced, because you need full context of like the whole, it's just like, yeah. Yep.
because like you don't want to discredit anyone's feelings for sure. Like
Yeah.
someone's feelings is their feelings. Like that's just it is what it is. And sometimes what might not upset you will upset someone else, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Um, But I don't
sometimes
know.
it'd be like
That's
some bullshit. Sometimes I will give you that. Sometimes based off of our experience, right? It doesn't seem like it's a big thing for us
yeah,
because our experience, oh, that's nothing. That's nothing. Oh, it's been worse. Like
yeah,
I feel like with like punishment, I feel like especially children who have or adults who have experienced corporal punishment as children, like the levels of it is just like, well, they used to make me kneel on rice back in my day, and so you gonna complain that I just, gave you a couple taps? Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, and I feel like that transfers to anything, right? It's just like, oh, well, I was traumatized in this kind of way, or I had friends or people or family or boyfriends or girlfriends, whatever, treat me
yeah,
however. And this is nothing compared to that. You be okay. That's some bullshit. And it's just like,
yeah,
where is the line? Where is the line of like having compassion, but also being like, I don't really know if like, because sometimes I feel some people it's bullshit. Sometimes it is. I don't mean to discredit, I don't mean to come off this kind of way, but I feel like I could make a general statement and say sometimes it's a tiny little thing and you're like, ain't no fucking way you mad about this thing. Ain't no way. I know there are certain things, a lot of things can be explained as to why it would hurt somebody's feelings, but then I feel like sometimes, right? It's like,
yeah. Like
it's
you're
really,
taking
yeah.
it personally and you're making it more than what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like I guess for example, I'm not going to apologize for keeping a boundary. Like if I don't like this thing, I'm not going to be an asshole and curse you out, but like I'm not going to apologize for letting you know that that's not something that I will allow. That's not something that I want. So, um, yeah, so I, I guess yes and no difficulty apologizing, but I would more so say no because I'm very much geared towards if someone's upset about something, I'm like, oh shit, like, wait, like, what happened? Because I don't want to make anyone feel, bad about themselves, especially if I love and care about them.
So what you're saying is
Um,
your apologies for bullshit once might not be as sincere. It's like a little
I'm not
band-aid.
apologizing for bullshit. I'm not. That's what I'm saying. Is
I was
like,
giving you credit. I was trying to say like, oh, you'll say sorry even if it's like to like smooth things over. I feel like you would say that though, Dom. I feel like you would
yeah,
apologize to smooth things over to like even if you're just like, fuck it. Like, let's just get over this shit and move on.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, yes
yeah.
and no, yes and no. Because if it really is some bullshit where it's like I know, or to me, it's like, all right, you're doing it, so then you don't have to be held accountable for the fact that you were a fucking asshole. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like how some people try to flip the narrative a little bit, where it's like you keep poking the bear turns around and slaps the shit out of you, and then you're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm not apologizing for that. Are you fucking out of your fucking mind? Like, I'm sorry that you were dumb enough to proceed. So, but no, like if it really was something where we can agree to disagree, I would apologize.
But you need to apologize back. Here's the thing. If I apologize and we agree to disagree,
Yeah.
you need to apologize too. The both of us need to do this because I get pissed off if I'm the only one apologizing. And then the other
Mm,
person is like, I'm sorry you feel that way. Or I'm sorry. Or they don't even say I'm sorry. They just be like, thank you. It's just like,
yeah,
wait a minute.
yeah,
Wait a minute.
yeah. Like a bullshit apology, I feel like is worse. So that's what I mean by like, if I think it's some bullshit, I'm not gonna just say sorry because I know it's not gonna be genuine. Like my apology is gonna be like, oh well, sorry that you think that is what happened. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Um, but yeah, I guess with maturing, I've also come to find that um while sometimes I do get mad, sometimes it's easier, even if I do think it's complete and utter nonsense. sometimes it's just easier to be like, all right, you know what? I did do this wrong. I'm sorry, and let it go. Rather than trying to get the other person to apologize too. Because I don't know, people show you how they are through their actions, I feel like, and their words, but more so their actions, because they could say one thing, and then they do the complete opposite. And it's like, but no, that's not it. It's like, but yeah, it is. So
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, so my mentor has been, because sometimes I want to, start slapping bitches. And
well, you be having good reasons. We can't discuss what the reasons are. However, I back Dom 1,000%.
Yeah.
Because
But
they're
no,
wild over there.
yeah.
Anyways,
but no, my mentor is very like in all categories of my life. Like she actually just last night took down my dad's phone number in case I do some dumb shit, because she said she's gonna call him and tell him what I'm doing. And I was like, that's fucked up, bro. But
it's also really funny. I think it's hilarious because if she really calls him, I'm like, you need to record that conversation.
My dad wouldn't pick up the phone because he wouldn't know who it is, and I don't. Nah, she would leave a voicemail. Fuck. But
yeah, she would. Yes, she would. I 1,000% believe that. Yep.
But no, like my mentor in all categories of my life, she's like, listen, like have grace with them because you don't know where you're going to end up. So,
don't burn your bridges, man.
Exactly. Yeah. She's very, very much like have grace for yourself, especially, but for others, because you don't always know what's going on. And also too, you don't know where you're going to end up. So yeah, so she's very, because I get heated, I get hyped, and she's very good at letting me be hyped. And then once I'm done, she's like, okay, so like she'll point out where I'm wrong. So you know what? That might be why things like it's a little bit easier for me to I guess dissect things to see, oh shoot, I do need to apologize for X, Y, and Z. Or if something is nonsense, like I'll apologize for Y and Z, but I ain't apologizing for X because that's some bullshit. But
you gonna need to find the value of X. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
That was nice. Everybody put clap hands in the comments for me because I made a pun. I hate you. Anyways, not you guys. It's Dom that I dislike. Yes, girl. That's wild.
Yeah, how about you? Like, is it hard to apologize? Have you found with and I don't mean this in a fucked up way, with age that it's gotten easier to apologize? I'm being serious.
I'm being serious, but it's still funny because I know that you're like, no disrespect, and I'm sitting here like, this shit is funny as fuck.
Because I'm always disrespectful. Because I'm always disrespectful. So like, I gotta clarify. Listen, I be telling people at my job too. I think
like with all the disrespect in the world because of your age.
I told the HR lady the other day, that's my girl. I was like, listen, I can't say her name, but blah, blah, blah. I was like, maybe you just, don't know what your niece is talking about because you're just out of that age bracket. And she was like, oh, and I was like, all right, I got to go downstairs in 9-9. Bye. But proceed. Like, do you think that with being more seasoned, that was disrespect? That like it's been easier to apologize because you kind of your point of view has shifted? Like, what would you say?
Ooh, you know what I noticed? The apologizing seems to be more serious topics now. Like as an adult. Like, yeah, there's interactions, and I feel like I have enough friends that are working on themselves. And by enough friends, I mean everybody is working on themselves and has self-awareness that like when I do the little, oh, sorry, I didn't mean for it to come off that way. Like when you're just having a chit chat and I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. And they'd be like, oh yeah, no worries. I feel like you and I have that conversation all the time where I'm just like, oh, my bad. Yeah. Like it's not, I didn't mean for it to come off the way that it came off. And you're like, yeah, no, we're good. And I feel like I get that response a lot when it's those little anxious thoughts through conversation of like, oh, I think I kind of put my foot in my mouth there. Whereas the real apologies come from like big, like real life things and situations. And I can't go into details with them about any of these things. However, there was a time that I really did not want to apologize. And I was, the time. I really didn't want to apologize. And I called Carlton up and he let me scream and he let me scream on the phone. I'm sorry, guys. We share as much as we can with you, but we got to keep the privacy of certain privacies. And so I'm on the phone screaming, crying. And he's like, babe, you're valid in your feelings. You have every right to be that way. You're 1,000% correct. However, I'm going to need you to breathe and I'm going to need you to go apologize right now. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm not apologizing. I don't fucking want to. And I feel like the little kid, like the inner child comes out, starts stomping. And it's just like, I don't wanna. Because I didn't want to. There's so much like inner rage, especially when you feel justified, even if you did bug out, right? Because there are times where I do bug out. I'm not going to say, I'm a Taurus, y'all. And I'm not a typical Taurus from what I've heard, where it's like I have a very long fuse, but a big kaboom. And so when you get on the other end of that, not a lot of people have experienced it because you caught me when the fuse was really long. But when it does happen, I tend to get really intense and really angry, really loud. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's just kind of where I'm at. Do I work on not cursing as much? Yes. Do I work on not being as loud and actually talking? I do. However, it's one of my struggles that I'm actively working on. So when I tell you I screamed, and then 15 minutes later, I went and I apologized. And that shit was hard as fuck. That shit was really, really hard because I felt justified in my actions. And as someone who has like CPTSD and anxiety and shit like that, and I've experienced gaslighting for like over a decade of gaslighting, like when I know I'm right and I'm justified in my reaction, it's like, that's when it's like, I really don't want to say sorry. I really don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't, in my opinion, I don't think you deserve it. I think that what I gave you was what you needed. And you can feel however you want to feel. And that sounds really fucked up for somebody who has a podcast about mental wellness and health. However, that's the reality of the situation. This is me taking accountability. I'm never going to lie about who I am. Like, I am as sweet as I can be, and I'm sarcastic and I roast and all sorts of stuff. And I really try to keep myself from getting angry. And so chances are you're not really going to see me get angry. However, when it does happen, I bug out a little bit. You know what I mean? Yep. And it's like, I don't get physical or anything like that because I've never been like a physical kind of person. Dom is more likely to hit you than me. Thanks for that. Yeah, but like, I think that's the most difficult thing. It's like learning, because with getting seasoned, it's just part of it, because it's like more serious. There's so much more on your shoulders. There's so much more that you got going on, and your responsibilities, and like, just your circle, like, excuse me, I feel like all those things they're intensified. Yeah. Almost, you know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, the feelings when you're younger are intense. However, the repercussions depending are not as serious. Whereas as an adult, and an adultier adult, which I've been working on doing, like, the consequences are a lot more dire, and you have to really think about those things, and you don't want to burn your bridges, and you want to make sure that your life is as harmonious as possible, because if you work as much as I now currently am, and Dom also works a whole lot, like, you know what? I feel like everybody that we're friends with, like, we go hard. Like, all of us work really fucking hard. I can't think of a person in our circle that doesn't bust their ass. So, like,
Damien.
Thanks. Yep, he does not. He's working hard on his words. He can do thumbs up now. He goes,
nice.
It takes a second, but he like gets it up there.
It's like cranking up.
Yes. Oh my God, my baby. I asked for a besito earlier and he went, mwah! And I was like, ah! I love it.
Oh my God, you're such a mom, bro.
I can't help it. Anyways.
It's so interesting.
It was so freaking cute. And then he got pissed off at me because he wanted to touch something that he wasn't supposed to touch, and I took it away, and then he just got really mad. But anyways, pretty much everybody that we know busts their ass to make sure that they're comfortable, that they got the right things going for them. And so during your periods of rest, like, you want it to be as harmonious as possible. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all I want to do is come home, take my shower, smoke a little bit, hang out with my son, hang out with my family, and like, that's it, really. I just want to, and then hang out when, then that's it. And so if you got all this other stuff and you're burning bridges and you're having these really intense like arguments and stuff, like, sometimes you do got to eat it, and you've got to just do it because like I said before, the repercussions are just a lot more serious, and you have to think about the future more. So I feel like that is really kind of where I'm at. I'm sorry. I keep looking at my plants because I think I overwatered 2 of them. They looking a little saggy. Anyways.
All right.
They're looking a little droopy. I don't like that. Maybe I need to repot them. Let me know how you take care of your aloe plants in the comments below, because my guy's looking a little sad.
You should text Nate.
You know what? I should text Nate. He is a plant daddy.
He is. He has many children.
He does. I'm waiting for my plant because he was propagating.
Yeah. He owes us all Christmas plants.
He does. I know that he was trying to propagate and get them going so they're strong enough so he could give it to us. But I want to know how it's going. I gotta give him a call. Anyways, all right, Dom. Inspire the people.
Yeah, I got it. All right. 2-finger drum roll, please. I like how you can't hear it. Oh, you saw just.
that looks so freaking bad. I wasn't even looking at me. I was looking at you.
Oh, that's funny.
We're gonna leave that in. Don't be nasty.
Good.
All right.
I wasn't thinking of it as a nasty.
No, not you.
Way.
I'm talking to them. I'm talking to them.
Oh.
Because I know some of our friends are probably gonna be like, "Whoa." So, anyways.
Yeah.
All
right. Our affirmation for today is my mindset is my most powerful tool.
Nice. Be inspired. Yeah. Take that deep breath in and let it rain on you.
Yeah, I thought that one was really good because it's so true. We talk about this all the time, where it's like,
your
internal world reflects externally. So whatever's going on in here is going to go on out here. So like, if you're like, you know what, I'm really grateful and like, it is what it is and everything happens for a reason. And, my blessings just kind of end up here. You'll see that where it's like someone might be cursing you out and you're like, damn, like they're really mad. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I hope they're okay. Someone will do something and you don't take it personally. It's like, dang, like, all right, anyway, I have to go eat my sandwich, so bye. It doesn't really affect you. Whereas if internally you're just really mad and like someone who everything feels like an attack at you because you're just not good internally, someone could be like, um, like, oh snap, those are those new shoes? Like, I've never seen those before. Like, they got some funky colors. But the person might not mean it as like a backhanded compliment. Like, they just might mean like, oh shoot, like, dang, that thing got patterned. But you're taking it as, oh my God, but how could they say that about my shoes? You know?
That's
Whereas if
how I
you were
used to
good
feel about
internally,
comfortable. The word
yeah,
comfortable.
like,
I would ask my mom, I'm like,
ah,
I'm like, Mom, how do I look? Because I was a sweatpants, pajama pants girly, like, for a long time. I still am. Um, and I'd be like, how do I look? And she's just like, comfortable. And I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that you're using that word as to what I look
yeah.
like. Because comfortable to me is like, what the fuck you trying to say? What you trying to say? So anyway, sorry, continue.
No, but exactly that, exactly that. Like, if internally, you're not doing too good, and then someone says something, um, you know, you're gonna take it however you're feeling. So whatever your mindset is, if you're feeling very, oh, nothing goes my way, nothing's gonna go your way. And every small little inconvenience of, like, you just caught 4 red lights in a row, you'd be like, oh my God, great. Like, now I gotta wait again. But if your mindset is like neutral and very like, all right, like, we get there when we get there, whatever. You hit 4 red lights and you're like, oh dang, all right, I guess I wasn't supposed to get there at this time. And it's so crazy because whatever you believe in, I personally believe in God. But actually, I believe in God, but you and I have spoken about this. My religion is paganityism.
Is
It's
what?
so a little bit of pagan ideas from like Buddhist monk ideas, and then I would say not so much Catholic, but more like Christian ideas. So I call it paganityism. So Buddhism, Christianity, being a pagan, you know. But anyway,
I
like with
appreciate
those
that.
four red lights, I've come to find, like, when I don't get somewhere at a certain time, it was meant for a reason.
Yep.
Like one time I was trying to dart to work and I kept hitting red lights. I was like, yo, what the actual fuck, bro? And then literally, like, I was 2 lights back and I see this person cut someone off, like, bad. And I was like, oh shit, like, that probably would have been me. And I could have gotten hit. And if that person got hit, it would have been a very bad accident. So yeah, just however you're doing in your mente, it really changes everything. Honestly, she couldn't agree more.
I couldn't agree more. It's because the same thing happened to me, like, because multiple occasions I'm going to work and I have to get on like a highway, because parkways are the bigger
Mm-hmm.
ones, right? Highways are the smaller ones.
No, I think Parkway's smaller, Highway's bigger. Because, like, if you think of the LIE, that shit is big. That shit got like 4 fucking lanes. Whereas
That's a
if you think of like
highway.
if you think of like
Okay,
Northern State or Southern State, they're
that's
like
a
2 to 3 lanes. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So I have a main parkway that I have to go to both my jobs. I have to take it. And so there were a few times where I was running late and, like, it was just like I couldn't find my keys and then I couldn't find my phone and then I couldn't find, like, and I was getting frustrated and I was just like, "Oh my God." And then at some point I was just like, "Fine, I'm gonna just get there when I get there." I get in the car, I'm driving, and, like, ahead of me, like, a deer, like, dash. There was one time where a deer, like, dashed a couple cars ahead of me or whatever. And then there was another time where, like, there was legit an accident that, like, just happened. Um like, maybe a few minutes before, cuz you could tell, like, people hadn't gotten there yet and whatever. Um and I was just like, "Damn, like, I could have gotten caught up in that." You know? So I used to really freak out about time. I think that that was one of my biggest things because I was notorious for being late. Anybody
Mm.
who hung out with the young Melanie knew that you probably gonna see me an hour or so later than what you actually wanted to, the time that you actually wanted to see me. And that's not very considerate also, but that's just kind of where I was when I was younger. And then and I was
Mm.
always running around always running around trying to make sure I was there on time, and I was always so late. But now I'm taking time more into consideration, and like I give myself more time so I don't have to rush. And even after that, if I'm still experiencing that, like I'm still running late, excuse me, then it just so happen then I feel like that's just what it needed to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just got to
Hmm.
let the universe protect you, or whoever
Yep.
or whatever it is that you believe in. I believe that sometimes you just got to let whatever it is out there that's guiding and protecting you, just let them do their fucking job. Let them
Yeah.
do their job. Just let them do their fucking job. You know, all
Yeah.
those memes with like they talk about like guardian angels is just all fucking stressed out and shit. Like
Yeah.
that's how I feel. But yeah, I think giving yourself enough time so that you can slow down for sure. But yeah, good shit, Dom. Good shit.
Very.
All right. Tell the people, where can they find us?
All right. You can find us a couple of different places on social media or in real life, but don't come in real life. We'll call the cops. Um, so you can find us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. We have an email. We have a Patreon. I believe that's everything, right? YouTube. Oh, sorry, Spotify, and streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music. Which, fun fact, I mention this every single time, but it still fascinates me. You can watch the podcast on Spotify. Like it did. That shit fucked me up the first time. But what's our handle, Mellard?
We are Talk Your Shift on all platforms. And
Yep.
Patreon is we're upgrading and updating the Patreon as we speak. I just dropped a new episode a few days ago. We're about to drop another one next week. And then we're just gonna keep this momentum going. So hell yeah, go check us out. It's $5. It's $5. Just go see us. Go see if you like what we giving. You know what I mean?
It's $5. That's funny.
Thanks. Anyways,
That was good.
I can't.
That's good.
Thank you, Dom. All right, y'all. We will see you later. Have a good day. Have a good week. Good month. And yeah, talk to you later. Bye bye.